start with Eric Miners and Kate Westendorf. They're two seniors that they don't get a whole lot of playing time, but in terms of their commitment to our program, their unselfishness, I think they really set a great standard for our younger guys to really understand what being our core values are: tough, passionate, unified, and thankful. And those guys really they live by those things, and they're great examples for our younger guys. So I'm just thankful that we have them on our team, and it's been a pleasure to work with them and coach those guys.
All right, what has playing basketball for the Elks meant to you?
It's meant a lot. I've made a lot of new relationships that I'll keep after high school and after basketball.
What would be your favorite memory while playing basketball for the Elks?
Coming together last year at the end of the regular season and making a run to the Elite Eight. Every team gets to be able to do that. That's pretty cool.
Then what has Coach Cups taught you that you can include in your everyday life?
He's taught us hard work and time management, which is something that I'll be able to use after basketball and into college, which will help me a lot.
And what has playing for the Elks meant to you for your high school career?
It's meant everything for me. This community supports us a lot, the basketball team. We have a really good coach who loves us a lot. And, yeah.
What would be your favorite memory while playing basketball?
It's probably what my friend Sam said before. Making that run last year, it was really fun for the players. It was a great time.
And what has Coach Cups instilled in you?
He's taught us how to manage our time. It's very important to instill that in everyday life. And also how to be mentally and physically tough.
And is there anything else you'd like to say?
Go Elks.
Sam Lash. Sam's a 3-year varsity guy. He's been on a couple really good teams the last few years, and it's just been really neat to watch him mature and kind of grow into a leadership position, which he's done a great job with, and trying to uphold the standards of our program. So I'm proud of the progress Sam's made in that area.
What has playing for the Elks for your high school career meant to you?
It's meant a lot to me. I've built a lot of good relationships that I can have for the rest of my life, and I think that's a key part of life.
What would be your favorite memory while playing basketball here?
My favorite memory is probably last year, 12-10 at the end of the regular season, making our run to the Elite Eight.
All right, and what has Coach Cups taught you that you can instill in your everyday life?
Our core values: be tough, passionate, unified, thankful, and I think that has taught us a lot of valuable lessons in life.
Adam Velasco is one of our hardest working kids that we've ever had. Definitely lives by our core values, and he's a kid that I think it surprises him sometimes at the plays he's capable of making. He's a great teammate and loves Centerville basketball and what we do. So been an honor to coach him for the last 4 years.
All right, what has playing basketball for the Elks meant to you?
It's meant a lot to me. It's something that I'll definitely miss once I graduate.
All right, what would be your favorite memory while playing basketball for the Elks?
My favorite memory is just spending time with my teammates, team dinners. Our trip to Florida was a lot of fun, and just our conditioning and workouts where you kind of get close with the guys you're playing with.
All right, and what has Coach Cups taught you that you can include in your everyday life?
Something he's definitely taught me is how to be thankful. That's not something that you don't usually tell people thank you for little things they do, and he's taught me how to do that.
And Keegan Saban, Keegan's a great player. He's been a pleasure to coach. We've really tried to focus on his leadership stuff this year, and he's done a really good job of accepting the criticism that goes along with that. Very unselfish kid for a guy that's kind of been the best player, been the leading scorer on a lot of the teams that he's played on. You wouldn't know it by talking to him or watching him play. So thankful for the opportunity to work with him. So we got a great group of seniors.
All right, what has playing high school basketball for the Elks meant to you?
Playing for the Elks has been a great experience. Coach Cups is a great coach. He's a great guy, leading us in battle every night, and it's just been fun.
All right, what would be your favorite memory while playing basketball?
My favorite memory is probably our tournament run last year, going to the Elite Eight. Only 8 teams in the state can do that, not a lot of teams do it every year. So just coming together as a team and going that far is really cool.
And what has Coach Cups taught you throughout while you played under him?
Probably just 4 core values to go from those: tough, passionate, thankful, and unified. He just wants us to live by that every day.
Now, is there anything that any of them have taught you throughout the years of coaching them?
Oh yeah, I mean, I learn something new every day. I think That's one of the fun things about coaching high school. I think you learn just as much as the kids do. Every year that every group that graduates, they take a little bit with you. You're a little bit better for a coach then, and there's no doubt this group of seniors is the same way. We've been really blessed with unselfish kids. Since I've been here, I can't speak before that, but since I've been here, we've just had kids that buy into the team mindset and the team atmosphere that we believe in and we preach, and I feel like they've made me tougher, more passionate, more unified, and more thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, just a really great group of people. First of all, we've kind of grown into this role together. This is my 4th year, and all those guys have been in the program for the 4 years. Individually, talk about Alec first. Obviously, broke his ankle first game of the year, just heartbreaking. But some way, somehow, he's gotten himself back to a position where he's going to play this year, which is just remarkable. He's had a great career. All-league player, the last 2 years, just a tremendous player. Jim Ratt, my favorite memory of him is, whenever I walk by the gym, he's in it.
Right.
And that has carried over to his rehab, and we can't wait to get him back. He's the clear leader. The kids unanimously picked him as a captain, and so that'll be a nice shot in the arm when we get him back.
Playing Springboro Panther basketball has meant everything to me because I always dreamed of it as a kid. Putting on that jersey and playing in front of that big crowd and everything. Growing up watching it all the time, I always wanted to be one of those guys. My favorite memory from playing for Springboro basketball was probably either beating Wayne this year, even though I was hurt. It was still awesome to see it, or last year the double OT win at Fairmont, against Fairmont. Coach Hoyer taught me to be a vocal leader on the court and off the court, and also he taught me how key preparation is and how important it is to how you play or anything in life, and also just to be a good person and take care of your schoolwork and stuff with your family before basketball. Basketball comes last.
Trey Varinsky, what can I say about Trey? Having a great senior season, had a really good junior season as well. Steady performer, great defender, has the ability to get 20 any night. Had a great game against Wayne. Probably my favorite memory of Trey was last year against Fairmont. We won in double overtime, and he hit 2 big free throws that allowed us to get into the first overtime after, because then Drolet hit the three free throws. But he came running over, and we do a drill called pressure free throws just about every day in practice. And Trey goes, "Coach, pressure free throws," and he hit 2 that were really important.
Playing for the Springboro Panthers, it really means a lot. Ever since I was in 2nd grade, I've dreamed of playing on Friday nights, and now that I am, it shows how far hard work can take you. My favorite memory for the Panthers would definitely be our win against Fairmont last year. That went in 2 overtimes where I had to hit 2 big free throws to go just into the overtime. In the past 4 years, Coach Hollweiger has taught us a lot. Key points I really take away from are his dedication to prepare us and how we use our hard work for things which will carry into our everyday lives. Looking back on it, playing basketball for the Springboro Panthers has been one of the best experiences of my life. The memories and friendships will be unforgettable.
And then Pickle, what can you say about Pickle? You've probably never met a person named Pickle.
No, that's the first time I saw him statue. I was like, oh, okay.
Pickle is one of a kind. He's also a gym rat. Bethel got a good one. His best basketball is still ahead of him. But it has been really fun over the last 4 years just watching him mature physically and into the player that he is today. And he's had some monster games for us. He scored over 20 a few times in his career, and then double doubles. Just a really good basketball player. One of a kind personality. Trying to give a memory of him is kind of hard to do because he's a constant memory. I mean, you never know what he's going to say, and just loves the game of basketball and just done a great job for us. And then
playing for Springboro has been great. I've made great relationships with coaches, players, fans, and teachers. It has been a fun time playing for Springboro. My favorite memory while playing for Springboro is the bonds I've made with my team. we're one big family. And Coach has taught me throughout the years is not to be selfish and give 100% of everything I do.
Lastly, but certainly not least, the little fella, Christian. If we can get a performance out of him like he had against him the last time, we'll be in good shape. But just fearless. You know, I've known Christian a long time, my son, and they played baseball together when they were really young. And he's had that his whole life. He's fearless. And has had some amazing games. You know, you look at the effort that Trey Pickle and he had at Wayne, all three of them in their own way just did amazing things. But, you know, Wayne, he hit the 2 free throws to ice it, or to give us the lead, not to ice it, but to give us the lead. And I knew he was going to make them. You could just tell. But, you know, my favorite thing with Christian, other than the fact that he's absolutely fearless, and hopefully you'll see a couple of these tonight, he's so fast and he's so quick that people just can't stay in front of him. But he will initiate contact with guys a foot taller than him, bounce off of them, still finish it, and get to the line.
Playing Springboro basketball meant a lot to me. Growing up wanting to play in front of all the fans and stuff, and now I am. It's just a great feeling. Favorite memory is when we beat Wayne this year, and Coach Holwager taught me to be a great person all the time.
So they're a great group. I think all 4 of them, you know, have the ability to play college basketball, and they've done a heck of a lot for Springboro basketball on and off the floor. They go and they read to kindergartners and first graders, and they're really good kids. They come from really good families. They've been a pleasure to coach.
Yeah, you know, one of the first things that comes to mind with Cameron is we played Springboro at home last year, and we were down 3 last possession of the game. He gets fouled taking a 3-point shot with no time remaining on the clock.
We were there.
Goes to the free throw line. Got to make all 3 to send it to overtime. Nobody even standing on the line. Just him, all by himself, and he made all 3. You know, and I have to be honest. I don't think there's any way in the world that if I was in his position that I would be able to make all 3. And that just kind of told me something about that kid and what kind of a player he is. And it was really admirable.
So what has playing for the Firebirds, or basketball for the Firebirds, meant to you over the last few years?
It's meant a lot, and it's honestly taught me a lot. It's taught me like what it's like to be a family. We have a term that we call philos, which means brotherly love, and it's taught me a lot about that. So.
What would be your most memorable moment while playing for the Firebirds?
My most memorable moment would be this winter break. We went down to Florida and we played at the ESPN complex, and we actually won first place.
What has Coach Albright taught you or instilled in you that you can carry over outside of basketball?
Going back to the fearless thing, just being reliable, being loyal to your family, your team, and people around you.
And all right, now with Jansen, I mean, he's a facilitator on the court. He has a chance to get 10 steals and 10 assists in the game.
Yeah, you know, he's had a terrific year when it comes to taking the basketball from the other team, and that's no real surprise. I mean, he's been that way from the minute that he got to us. He's been an outstanding defender, one of the best effort guys I've ever coached, and also a really good energy player. You know, I think one of my favorite memories about Jansen, to be honest, as strange as it might sound, is from his freshman year. And I wasn't even there that day, but I'll never forget the very first day that we scrimmaged. My first scrimmage of my tenure here at Fenway, I got a call from the freshman coaches who had also scrimmaged, and they told me this kid Jansen, he just makes everybody go. Great communicator. They just raved up and down about what he brought to the gym, and he's been that way ever since.
You see it in his play. I mean, he's virtually unstoppable on defense.
No question, and he's always led with his heart. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and to his credit, he pours it all out into the game.
All right. So what has playing for the Firebirds for your high school career meant to you?
It's been a lot. It's been lots of ups and downs, but overall it's been a pretty great experience. Lots of great fan base every game. The atmosphere is always there. Lots of people coming out to support. I've really enjoyed my time here.
What has been your most memorable moment while playing for the Firebirds?
My most memorable moment's probably my sophomore year against Alter when Cavante hit a big 3 at the end of the game to win it.
Okay, what has Coach Albright instilled in you that you can include in your everyday life, not just in the basketball sense?
I think he's definitely instilled a worth ethic that I can use for the rest of my life. Just the constant go, high-paced motor, never giving up. I can definitely use that for the rest of my life.
All right. And then Brandon Hall, I mean, he's the last senior. Big man coming off the bench, so I mean, and he plays a lot of important roles too.
Brandon's like the ultimate consummate team guy. You know, we have a mantra in our program, Philos. It's all about loving your teammate, loving your brother. Nobody embodies that better than Brandon. And you know, something that I thought about with Brandon actually was just last week. You know, it's late in the fourth quarter. The game is clearly in hand. We have it won. We have it won significantly. And he takes a charge late in the fourth quarter. You know, and we need more guys that are willing to do that type of thing. That just kind of showed me that kid, doesn't matter the time, the place, the situation, whatever the team needs, he's always willing to do. And I'll always be really grateful to him for that.
What has playing for the Firebirds the last 4 years meant to you?
To me, it's kind of given me like another sense of family. One of the things we talk about is called Philos, which in the Greek means love for a brother. And so it's a strong bond between all of us. And I've grown up with these guys, especially these seniors. I've gotten to play with them since grade school, and that's one of the biggest things that playing for the Firebirds has meant for me.
Okay. What would be your favorite or most memorable moment while playing basketball for the Firebirds?
My most memorable moment? I think is my sophomore year is when I got into my first varsity game, and my grandparents, who I hadn't seen in 6 months, came back from Tennessee, and I scored my first varsity point with them in the stands. That's probably one that I probably remember the most.
And what did you learn from Coach Albright, not that you can include in your everyday life, just not in the basketball sense?
That there's a lot of ups and downs that you face on a daily basis, and one of the biggest things that we've learned just with our coaching staff is just kind of how to constantly keep your head to the grindstone and keep moving forward.
And is there anything like that those three have taught you?
Oh, no question. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is resiliency. You know, those guys are guys that, you know, have been through a lot in the program. They've seen some real highs, and they've had to go through some adverse situations. And they've always come back with great attitudes. You know, all three of them always come back with great attitudes. Always kept working, kept pounding away. So I've really been impressed with their resiliency. And then the other thing I think that's interesting about them is I think all three of those guys have been really, really important program builders for us in terms of, you know, the legacy that I think all three of them can leave behind. But interestingly enough, they're all so different.
Right.
You know, and I think one of the things that it's taught me is that, you know, there's a lot of different ways to approach how you play, and reaching each of them and figuring out what motivates each of them has been a real interesting process for me.
Right.
They all are motivated a little bit differently, and there are things that make them tick, that makes them real individualistic, but all three of them have been so important to the culture of our program, and we'll really miss them for that.